ṣeyede gbígbéde lárugẹ nílẹ̀ Oòduà o àwa gangan ni bàbá.
Koikimedia, 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 we bringing the one closer to your doorstep.
They never sabi wetin we carry for her,
but they move closer before them to sabi.
I said they never know wetin we carry for body,
but they move closer before them to sabi.
Ọ̀kín lọ lọ́jà ẹyẹ ìníhùn ló ló lajú.
Ẹyẹ tó lórí kodò bí àdán ọgbẹ́jẹ lẹ́nu.
Ká ṣiṣẹ́ fún ilẹ̀ bàbá wa, ká ṣiṣẹ́ fún ìlú bàbá wa, ká jùmọ̀ sowọ́pọ̀ ká lè tó Odùduwà.
Odùduwà kò bá lè gbé wa.
Ọmọ Odùduwà ṣe gírí, ẹ dìde fún ẹ̀tọ́ adúláwọ̀, ká lè jọ jùmọ̀ gbé délẹ̀ ìlérí, ká wálé gba ògo ilẹ̀ wa, ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká lè jọ gbàdé, ká lè gbàdé adé adúláwọ̀, àwa ni mọ̀lẹ̀ tí yóò tàn káàkiri.
Pé ọmọ Odùduwà ni wá.
Koikimedia àwa là ń gbé tó lárugẹ.
Ètò tó pọ̀jù owó tí wàá máa ní.
Kásá ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà wá kájé bùgbà yín jẹ.
Ètò tó pọ̀jù owó tí wàá máa ní.
À ń gbé tó lárugẹ, à ń gbàsà lárugẹ.
Ètò tó pọ̀jù owó tí wàá máa ní.
News and sports ẹ máa rí gbọ́.
Ètò tó pọ̀jù owó tí wàá máa ní.
Ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú alárẹ̀ mi ló ní kí n máa ké tantan. Koikimedia ọ̀rọ̀ lágbájúmọ̀ mi o, máa bá ṣẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ o. Ọmọ Yorùbá nìyẹn, ọmọ Yorùbá tata o. À ń gbádùn rẹ ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú alárẹ̀ mi, ṣẹ́yìn lọ máa fi dìbò tẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀ o. Ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa ń dé mádémádé, ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa wọ̀ o. Igbó máa wọ̀ gbàjòjì ò gbọ́dọ̀ wọ, àjòjì tó bá wọ bẹ́ẹ̀ á bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní ẹbọra. Ẹ̀yin lọ máa náwó kóyìnbó tó dé, ìgbà tó yìnbó dé o, owó náà dẹ́ tún pọ̀ sí o. Koikimedia ṣàwa ní bàbá. Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Àdáńtọ́ àtúnpèrègèdè.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Àwa là ń gbé tò lárugẹ, jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ o.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Àtúnjàfẹ́tọ̀ ilẹ̀ wa, fẹ́tọ̀ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Ọmọ Oòduà ni wá o, tọkàntọkàn.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Ikú tí ó ṣe bí lébi òsì, àdìmú bàbá iyọ̀.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
We bring you up closer to your doorstep.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Afẹ́fẹ́ tó ń fẹ́ o tó ń kan kí oko lára ni.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Àpèrègèdè Olódùmarè ló fún wa ṣe.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Gbogbo ayé ẹ gbọ́, àwa ní bàbá o.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Ẹ máa bọ̀ wá ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà yín wá o.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Odùduwà lágbédá ní, òtítọ́ lágbédá ní.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
A kì í sọ̀dálẹ̀, a kì í sódìkẹta.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Àdúró tán, a tún pèrègèdè.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Koikimedia we bring you up closer to your doorstep.
Àwọn ní bàbá.
Koikimedia is around.
To give us latest.
Is around o.
Give us latest.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Ẹ mú kalẹ̀ sílẹ̀, ẹ tẹ́tí ẹ gbọ́ ètò tó pọ̀jù owó.
ladies and gentlemen,
Ẹ mú kalẹ̀ sílẹ̀, ẹ tẹ́tí ẹ gbọ́ ètò tó pọ̀jù owó.
Koikimedia is around.
To give us latest.
Koikimedia.
Koikimedia, we're bringing the world closer to your doorstep. jẹ́ a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àkí ọmọ Yorùbá lápapọ̀ tìlé tó kó ẹ̀mí àbọ̀ ẹ̀bá nǹkan mọ Adéyẹmọ Chief Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho orúkọ ńlá tí ń jámọ̀ láyà bí àrá orúkọ tó ń dẹrù bo lórúkọ gan-an ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ má sùn o torí pé bùrà a kò lè fojú kégbodò láyé títa ríro lẹ̀dá ń kọlà wúrà tó máa dán alànà kọjá dandan o ọ̀wọ́n irin ní má bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ̀nà ẹ̀dá kan ò lè ṣì wá lọ́nà mọ́ ẹjẹ́ àfìmọ̀ṣọ kan ká lè débi re ẹjẹ́ àjọ gbárùkù ti Sunday Ìgbòho ṣá ọmọ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ nílùú Alágbàdo Òde ọmọ atapẹ̀tẹ̀ wọnú omi ọmọ gègèlè wodò sànyà ìsànyà ò rẹ́ràn bàbá yín láàrin ìdí omi kò síná ń kán sí yín lẹ́nu ọmọ òkúta mẹ́ta òkè gbòó ìkan ń ṣe yín ní dábọ̀dàbọ̀ ìkan ní mọ́ rọra ìkan tó kù nígbà tí wọ́n ò mọ̀ gbòó mọ̀ rẹ́ kí ló dé gbòó mọ̀ rẹ́ sí ọmọ òpópó sanran ìgbàgede gbòó sùn wọn láláìsí bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọn ní kó ní bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó máa kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ ẹ̀sìn òní bímọ méjì ní gbòó mọ̀ rẹ́ bẹ́sìn bá bímọ méjì ní gbòó àfikàn pọpọ sí amúkan yòókù bọ sànyà àtúmúyà rẹ̀ tí ò lọ́rọ̀ gbọ́ àfiṣẹrù wálé wàrà mòjé ọmọ onílé ọlà àwọn àjòjì tó ń ṣe ségesège tọ́láwọn ò ní bomi kó sí mu wọ́n láwọn ò ní bomi sànyà wẹ́sẹ̀ ìgbà tójú kò fi rí ńkọ́ gbogbo wọn náà sáré bomi kó sí mu wọ́n sì bomi sànyà wẹ́sẹ̀ ọmọ abẹ́rẹ́ mẹ́ta òde ayé ọ̀kan ṣẹ́ ọ̀kan tẹ̀ ọ̀kan tó kù ní gbogbo ayé tí ń ránṣọ kiri gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá Sunday Ìgbòho onírèlẹ̀ láéláé torí àbá lásán nìkan ń dá òkúta ò ṣe gbé fún wọn o ìmọ̀ràn lásán ni ti balùwẹ̀ kò pọ́sibú kó dòdò láyé ń bí ó kún díẹ̀ kí tọ́ domi láéláyé ìtọ́ mi lè domi Sunday Ìgbòho arógun má ti dí tó ń jà fẹ́tọ̀ Yorùbá ní tilé tó kó ọmọ Ìbàràpá lápapọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àkí ọmọ Yorùbá lápapọ̀ tìlé tó kó ẹ̀mí àbọ̀ ẹ̀bá nǹkan mọ Adéyẹmọ Chief Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho orúkọ ńlá tí ń jámọ̀ láyà bí àrá orúkọ tó ń dẹrù bo lórúkọ gan-an ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ má sùn o torí pé bùrà a kò lè fojú kégbodò láyé títa ríro lẹ̀dá ń kọlà wúrà tó máa dán alànà kọjá dandan o ọ̀wọ́n irin ní má bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ̀nà ẹ̀dá kan ò lè ṣì wá lọ́nà mọ́ ẹjẹ́ àfìmọ̀ṣọ kan ká lè débi re ẹjẹ́ àjọ gbárùkù ti Sunday Ìgbòho ṣá ọmọ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ nílùú Alágbàdo Òde ọmọ atapẹ̀tẹ̀ wọnú omi ọmọ gègèlè wodò sànyà ìsànyà ò rẹ́ràn bàbá yín láàrin ìdí omi kò síná ń kán sí yín lẹ́nu ọmọ òkúta mẹ́ta òkè gbòó ìkan ń ṣe yín ní dábọ̀dàbọ̀ ìkan ní mọ́ rọra ìkan tó kù nígbà tí wọ́n ò mọ̀ gbòó mọ̀ rẹ́ kí ló dé gbòó mọ̀ rẹ́ sí ọmọ òpópó sanran ìgbàgede gbòó sùn wọn láláìsí bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọn ní kó ní bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó máa kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ ẹ̀sìn òní bímọ méjì ní gbòó mọ̀ rẹ́ bẹ́sìn bá bímọ méjì ní gbòó àfikàn pọpọ sí amúkan yòókù bọ sànyà àtúmúyà rẹ̀ tí ò lọ́rọ̀ gbọ́ àfiṣẹrù wálé wàrà mòjé ọmọ onílé ọlà àwọn àjòjì tó ń ṣe ségesège tọ́láwọn ò ní bomi kó sí mu wọ́n láwọn ò ní bomi sànyà wẹ́sẹ̀ ìgbà tójú kò fi rí ńkọ́ gbogbo wọn náà sáré bomi kó sí mu wọ́n sì bomi sànyà wẹ́sẹ̀ ọmọ abẹ́rẹ́ mẹ́ta òde ayé ọ̀kan ṣẹ́ ọ̀kan tẹ̀ ọ̀kan tó kù ní gbogbo ayé tí ń ránṣọ kiri gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá Sunday Ìgbòho onírèlẹ̀ láéláé torí àbá lásán nìkan ń dá òkúta ò ṣe gbé fún wọn o ìmọ̀ràn lásán ni ti balùwẹ̀ kò pọ́sibú kó dòdò láyé ń bí ó kún díẹ̀ kí tọ́ domi láéláyé ìtọ́ mi lè domi Sunday Ìgbòho arógun má ti dí tó ń jà fẹ́tọ̀ Yorùbá ní tilé tó kó.
The Yoruba-speaking tribe of Nigeria has been accepted as the 45th member of the Unrepresented Nations and Peoples Organization. Leader of the Yoruba World Congress, Professor Banji Akintoye, says the membership represents a very important step in the collective quest of well-meaning Yoruba people to achieve the goal of dignity and self-determination.
It is my great pleasure and pride to inform you that the Yoruba nation has been admitted to the membership of UNPO. UNPO means Unrepresented Nations and Peoples Organization, with its headquarters in The Hague. The UNPO expressed their gladness to welcome the Yoruba nation as a new member of UNPO, and they are looking forward to working with us. It is important because it is a great stride and it represents a very important step in our collective quest to achieve the goal of dignity in the country in which we live, and also to achieve the goal of self-determination for our nation. Our Yoruba nation now has a voice on the international stage via the machinery of the UNPO, which maintains a permanent presence before the United Nations and before other international agencies like the European Union, the African Union, the United States government, and the governments of various other countries across the world.
So what do they expect of us now that this war is on our doorstep? Of course, there has got to be civil mobilization. And if we keep waiting for this to be centrally handled, we're all going to become, if we're not already, slaves in our own land. That for me is personally intolerable. It's not an acceptable condition. And whatever it takes, I stand ready to contribute in any way.
Impediment to Yoruba development is the impediment to Odua development. Without Nigeria, we won't be where we are. 1962, we were far ahead of South Korea and North Korea. We were far ahead of China even. We had television before France. We had radio before South Africa. Now look at where we are today. I think it's a shame that even any Yoruba man can be talking about restructuring at this point in time. What are we restructuring? This country that is already shot to pieces? I don't think that's what we want. But they are always talking about giving Nigeria a chance. The patience of Yoruba with Nigeria has come to an end.
If you don't allow we Biafrans to go, that zoological republic called Nigeria will be a worse place than Somalia. And today it is happening. And if you have not applied for your Somalian visa, please try and do so. Should I say Somali visa? Try and do so as quickly as possible, because the zoo is on the path of destruction, and there is nothing man can do to reverse it. Mark today's date and what I'm telling you. Nigeria will be destroyed beyond human comprehension.
Revolutionary readers of the Pan-Africa present day. Good morning, fellow Biafrans. Good morning, Africa. Good morning, West Africa. This is the 7th day of August 2023, and I have come this morning on the request of the Biafra people. I want to start by encouraging the new Mali president, Colonel Assemini Goïta. I want to also encourage the new Burkina Faso president, Ibrahim Traoré. And finally, I want to encourage the new Niger Republic President, General Omar Chiani. I want them to understand that the wave of freedom that is now in Africa, especially in West Africa, must continue. We want to let them know this morning that Biafrans are standing very strong behind them. We are fighting the same freedom, both economic freedom and the complete freedom of our people. And I want them to understand, should in case Nigeria lead a military invasion of Niger Republic, they should understand that they have brothers and sisters and alliance in Biafra land. I want them to understand that we are going to stand shoulder to shoulder to fight against Nigeria for our own freedom. So if they are worrying about Nigeria invading and attacking Niger Republic and how they are going to do it, engage them from the north, it is going to be more easier. While they engage Nigeria in the north, we the Biafra people are going to engage Nigeria from the eastern region. I just want this particular message to get to this powerful and the very rugged revolutionary leaders of the Pan-Africa present days. I want them to understand that Biafra people, over 70 million Biafrans, are standing shoulder to shoulder to any nation, to any ethnic group, to any ethnic nationality within Africa who want to free themselves from oppression and modern slavery. The neo-colonialism that we are fighting today must end. So I want them to understand that we are standing very strongly behind them. Countries like Finland have not colonized anybody. They are doing quite fine. We have seen many atrocities being committed in our land, in Biafra land, for example, where the Nigeria oil is being exploited from. People die every day. They don't care about us. It is time we put it an end. And that's what Biafra is fighting for. So, my fellow brothers and sisters from the other part of the West Africa who have risen up to fight for their own freedom and to liberate themselves from these demonic sucking and blood-sucking demons, I want you to understand that Biafra, for the Biafra's sake, for the freedom of Biafra's sake, we will stand shoulder to shoulder with you if Nigeria attack your nation. Niger Republic, if Nigeria attack you, Biafra people will stand shoulder to shoulder with you to fight against Nigeria. That declaration is being made as demanded by the Biafra people today. Thank you. May God bless you.
All right, so good evening and welcome once again to the live transmission as we are now just about almost 18 minutes past the hour. This program will run for 2 hours, so I hope to be out of this broadcast by 11 o'clock, God's willing. Muki Mubwale and from wherever you're watching, and let's kickstart the program because we haven't got much time. And as you can see from the headline, the most important part of it is to ask the question from the Afenifere where actually they stand when it comes to the situation room that Nigerians and the Yorubas are facing presently. Moki Mugwale and I say good evening and welcome, and let's kickstart with this.
She
And let's come back again. And I say good evening and welcome to the transmission. It is 21:33 p.m. local time in London, and almost the same time with Nigeria. Tí a máa sọ pé 9:30 p.m. Bola Tinubu, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, is taking us backwards. And it's taking us so much backwards that if care is not taken, the Yoruba people will be trapped again in Nigeria. As much as he wants to be the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that he is currently, there are so many things that is now linking his presidency to the obstacle of the Yoruba people. Some might not see it from the point of the view that Bola Tinubu is taking us backwards. But one thing I could say is that some of us are not going to keep quiet, because Bola Tinubu is just one entity, just one individual, and his own ambition. And Nijekoda ambition tiwa dúró. Ambition táwa ní ó yàtọ̀ sí ambition tí Bola Ahmed Tinubu ní. Ambition tí ẹ̀ òun ni pé ó fẹ́ keep Nigeria together for a very long time. And every day tá bá ṣì wà nínú that system tó ń pè Nigeria, that means we are trapped in it. Economic wise, Bola Tinubu lè ṣe nothing in Nigeria. The economy is dead and it's gone, and nobody can revive it. Kò séye expertise tí Bola Tinubu fi lọ mú wá láti ta that can pull back Nigeria. And that is why we are saying now to the Afenifere, whether the division of the Afenifere from the two sides, níbo gangan làwọn dúró sí láàrin gbogbo wàhálà tó ń bẹ nílẹ̀. Next week will be the judgment from the election tribunal, and whatever that is going to be, that would also escalate certain things that would drag us back. There's a lot of pressure behind closed door from intelligence that is getting to me. Next week, from the information, the election tribunal will give a date. Bola Tinubu knows that this election that was concluded is not conclusive. Bola Ahmed Tinubu knows clearly that the election on February 25th was not a conclusive election. He's now doing everything behind closed door to keep this presidency. There are a couple of things that many Nigerians are waiting for now. Those that are still in love with Nigeria. And what they are waiting for is that election tribunal outcome. I have told you that many Nigerians have stocked up guns and weapons. Everybody knows that. From the south to the middle belt. And whatever is going to happen when this election tribunal is announced would also mean that the Yorubas would continue to remain in that trapped Nigeria. Bola Tinubu's health is also of concern. That is another factor. And as we say every day, we pray for his good health, just as we pray that during the period that he will be there, he will survive whatever obstacle that he has found himself, and dragging millions of Yoruba people along with it. Bola Tinubu ti drag gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá wọnú wàhálà tó pọ̀ gan nísìn. Wàhálà tó dẹ̀ kó wá sí, if care is not taken, it could explode in our eyes as quickly as possible. We are not talking about the Niger coup right now. I am talking about the internal crisis within Nigeria. Asari Dokubo says he has a license to work as a security in line with the military. There are so many obstacles tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí tí apá Bọ́lá Tinubu ò ní lè kà. And this is why the West are concerned that those that are agitating, we might end up having too many warlords, and they're very concerned. I know that from the interview or meetings that we heard that is not for public consumption with high-profile people in America. I was in that meeting. And one of their concern is, should Nigeria break up, there might be too many warlords. That is if it doesn't break in the accordance of what they want. Warlord Mawakakiri across different parts of Nigeria, not literally in the west, southwest. Even in the southeast, there will be different warlords. And it might take time, years, to rectify the problem. So ìbéèrè tí à ń bi àwọn Afẹ́nifẹ́re pé níbo gangan làwọn dúró sí báyìí ní alẹ́ yìí, where are they standing? Níbo gangan ni Afẹ́nifẹ́re, that is the social cultural group that the Yoruba people have fallen in love and have supported for decades. Níbo gangan làwọn dúró sí? Are they still in line with Tinubu from the Fashion-Roti team and the Ayo Adebanjo standing with Peter Obi? Should Peter Obi not get what he wants after the election tribunal, what do you think might start happening? Should Atiku not get what he wants? Or should there be a rerun? I don't know what is going to be the outcome. I don't have access to such information. But tí rerun bá ṣẹlẹ̀, would there be this escalation táwọn Yorùbá kan máa náwọn nígbà, because they will feel cheated, even though everybody knows that election was inconclusive. It was a rigged election. Gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá mọ̀ yẹn. That Bola Tinubu rigged himself to become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and things must start turning around if care is not taken. Nigerians are waiting. The military will not be able to curtail what is about to explode if such happen. Nigerian military does not have the capacity. I am not talking about those agitating now. I am talking about Nigerians. If things goes the other way around, the military, the DSS, the police, the civil defense, they will not be able to stop what might happen. I don't know. But is Bola Tinubu pushing everything on the Yoruba people just because of his own selfish interest? Just because of his own selfish interest, we might have a situation that will be much more than what we have seen in other African countries. Prayer will not stop what is about to come. We have seen it already in Kenya. We have seen it in other African countries. Nigeria is not immune to such as well. And the Afenifere must now continue to come out and make their case clear so that ká lè mọ ibi tó dúró sí. The northern leaders are challenging Bola Tinubu, and they are challenging him very hard on the issue when it comes to the Niger. They are also monitoring what could be the outcome of the election tribunal. Should the election tribunal come back and say Tinubu will run as the president, should we now be concerned about Atiku attacking Nigeria with external forces? We know that they are capable of doing such, and there's a lot of evidence out there that has pointed to each and every politician have their own different internal, external mercenaries that they are using to destabilize Nigeria. Do you think that Atiku will walk away in case the tribunal comes back and say Tinubu will win? Do you think that Peter Obi will walk away and accept his fate? The West are doing so many things behind closed door to make sure that Nigeria does not go engulfed in fire. They are speaking to the three of them as I speak to you right now. Wọ́n bá wọn mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta sọ̀rọ̀. Whether they will accept in tó ń bá wọn sọ, nobody knows. But every one of these three presidential candidates are waiting. And that will make them decide the next step. Ṣé kò ń ṣe pé Tinubu ti kó Yorùbá sínú wàhálà tó ń ṣe kékeré, as some of you are not thinking? Already we have a divided military. Lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ní Nigeria, presently today, the Nigerian military is so divided. The question again tonight is, are we in danger because Tinubu's ambition? Yes, he had all the right, just like any other citizen. But he knew that he was not in love by many Nigerians. Àwọn Yorùbá nífẹ̀ẹ́ lóòótọ́, but not every part of Nigeria fall in love with him. And that is why the election was very, very tight. But everybody knew that eventually INEC rigged Bola Tinubu in. Will that same happen with the election tribunal? Are they going to continue that rig? Or are we going to see something different? Ǹjẹ́ àmọ́ tó lè ṣẹlẹ̀? Nobody knows. We can only speculate. But from what I am receiving as this evening, the West and America are speaking to the three candidates behind closed door. Already, France have issued a code red towards Niger. There is a lot happening in West Africa. There's a lot of movement. And it might be nothing, and it might be something. What is going to be in line for our Yoruba? Many Yorubas are now asking questions that they've never asked before, especially with this government that forced himself on us. There is now crisis in West Africa. crisis in anything is growing on a daily basis. The medias at home knows. The international media knows. Many intelligence agencies around the world knows what is about to kickstart. There's a lot of preparation from different embassies now in different parts of West Africa because nobody knows what is going to happen. Airspace. There is a lot of military vehicles, military aircraft moving within the radars that we have been monitoring. We don't know which one and who is inside, but from radars, a lot of military vehicles are traveling within that region. So the question is, if up till a week, going to 2 weeks now, with the current crisis, because crisis is developing almost every now and then, and there might be another crisis that is about to develop, which is the election tribunal. A lot of people are not talking about it. But we know with evidence that there are groups of people waiting for what is going to be the outcome, and they might react or they might not react. Should we be concerned with all this development? There is a lot of movement going on, but it seems that as many of us are probably saying it might not mean anything, but I just hope it doesn't mean anything as well. Bola Tinubu is making his calculation very well. I hope he is. And I hope they are preparing. Because should the DSS locked Atiku and Peter Obi in-house when this is going to happen within the week, from what we are told, what we have been hearing, Toba lock and méjèèjì under house arrest, Nigeria will engulf. There is a lot being played as we speak right now. I'm just reading just before coming on air that they might not clear El-Rufai due to security clearance as a minister. Bola Tinubu knows what the Northerners have for him. He's not stupid. Omo gbogbo trap don dey fóun náà. And every trap, he might be trying to entrap it as well. But I hope he's making all his calculation very well. Kuma kwa wasi problem. Especially when Nigeria has come to a stage that we are really asking the question, is it a must for every one of us to be together? I told us a few weeks or 3 weeks ago, Indonesia had a prime minister that turned things around within 600 days, that led to the East Timor having their independence after 3 decades of guerrilla warfare between the East Timorian Revolutionary Army and the Indonesia military. 3 decades. Many people lost their lives. already we have crisis of economic situation on the ground that Bola Tinubu cannot revert within the next 2 years. But every day, we will continue to say, crisis is just looming and about to explode. Everybody knows that. Those that can feel it from the spiritual realm, they know that. They know that something is just driving around Nigeria and they're just holding it so that it doesn't escalate. There are too many things about to explode. Bola Tinubu knows as many of the trap Togbile. Nigeria is not different from any other African countries. It does not matter how we might look at it. We are not immune to any other things that can happen. There's a lot of intelligence spies at the ground in West Africa, still trying to destabilize. But the question is, I hope Bola Tinubu has worked out everything and prepared his mind. We are praying for him, and we pray that they don't get rid of him. We know that his health is not our business, but he must be very careful at this very, very difficult time. There is a lot of steps and a lot of movement. Over the weekend, 5 of the governors from the north paid him a visit in Abuja. It was a closed-door meeting. Nobody has information or preview to know what was discussed behind closed door or behind the curtain. But there's a feelings in the north already that Bola Tinubu wants to attack the northerners. And that is Niger. We've heard that 53% Hausa lives in Republic of Niger. That means an attack on Niger is an attack on the Hausa people and the Fulanese. Should Yoruba people be concerned? Nibiti Bubuawa? Or should we just say we should not be concerned? Was the Republic of Niger coup a trap? Or was it just a coincidence? Is this a conspiracy theory? Ǹjẹ́ Bola Tinubu ò fẹ́ kó gbogbo Yorùbá sí wàhálà báyìí? Because we know that as I was looking back in my archive, I spent 2 hours going back through old videos. Some of them I pulled them out. For those of you following me on Twitter within the last 3 hours. And I started seeing the amount of vehicles of loaded Fulanese into Southwest during the COVID. When the whole country was on a lockdown, they were moving into Southwest. And when I was looking at those videos again, I was scared and concerned. Ṣé n tó ń plan bọ̀ láti ìgbà yẹn lélẹ́yìí? Àbí everything is just a conspiracy theory? Because we were told as at that time, what is this movement of mass migration of people? What is it for? Was it so that there will be a Niger Republic coup because Bola Tinubu was the person in line that will be the president, even though they wanted to take him out? But he told them, "Èmi ló kàn." I'm not talking about 1-3 videos. I spent 2 hours digging back my archive, and I was seeing videos upon videos of migration of people. Even it got to a state that even the Lagos State governor escorted them back, and they were picking it from one state to the other state to just take them back. But not every one of them went back. There's what they call sleeper cell. And a sleeper cell will be living with you for 10 years. And they're just waiting for that order. Are we coming to that situation now that the Northerners are saying that Tinubu pe attack Ilẹ̀ Hausa ni, kò ń ṣe pé ó fẹ́ attack Niger? His intention is to attack àwọn Hausa, and that would definitely mean that the Hausa in the southwest will rise back and they will fight. Or should we say it is nothing? Should we just overlook it and say it's nothing? We're just worried people, and we are just concerned people. 2019 to 2020 is a year. 2020 to 2021 is 2 years. 2022 to 2023. That means they have 3 years to prepare. And want to wà nísàlẹ̀. And we also know that somebody told us something during that period, that if we go back and ask ourselves, was this all orchestrated in preparedness for Tinubu and trap him? I hope he will be able to untrap himself pẹ̀lú wàhálà tó wà nílẹ̀. I hope he has people surrounding him and telling him everything he needs to know. The North believe they are about to be attacked by a Yoruba man. And the question is, what role should Afenifere be doing at this particular time? 2019, everyone saw pé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ni gbogbo wọn sọ̀kalẹ̀ wá. The human movement in the southwest for that period of 1 year, ó ju 3 decades lọ. It is the one that we saw. What about all the ones that we never saw? And everybody probably have forgotten what this man told us.
Which is it for yourself, Obadiah? Do you think the government is unwilling or unable to protect the people of Southern Kaduna?
In fact, it is not only unable, it is unwilling, and we have good reason to feel that they are part and parcel of the killers. Let me make some revelations to you.
That's a very big allegation, Dr. Obadiah. The government is part and parcel of the killers.
Yes.
That's big.
Yes. Okay, how will the government just say, oh, it is revenge killing and so on? Then you leave it there. Oh, because it is revenge killing and so on and so forth. The body language of this administration, the body language of the state government shows clearly that they have a hand in the killings. No doubt about it. Because, you see, General Abacha, and people don't give him his due. Do you think you have tolerated such nonsense? Well, let me make some revelations, because some of us also have our own intelligence networks.
Okay.
Have met with some of the bandits. We have met with some of their high commanders. 1 or 2 who have repented. They have sat down with us, not once, not twice. They told us that one of the northern governors is the commander of Boko Haram in Nigeria. Boko Haram and the bandits are one and the same thing.
I want us to remember that word. Is it the same governor? Lumfije minister? Is it the same governor? Still part of the cabinet? Nigeria will eventually collapse. And the collapse of Nigeria is not longer as much as a lot of us might not believe it. The collapse of Nigeria, Kopemo, everybody can feel the air, but nobody knows where the wind is blowing to. But everybody in Nigeria can feel the air, but nobody knows níbo látẹ́gùn yẹn fẹ́ sí, apá bo ló ń fẹ́ sí. The division of Nigeria is getting closer. The dissolution will happen. We knew that last year, if I'm right, if not the year before, some high-profile oil companies moved out of Nigeria. I'm sure some of you remember that. Are they giving them heads up so that they save as much as they can save before things goes AY? Or maybe not. The situation is getting much more interesting. We've been asking for self-determination. Àwọn Yorùbá náà wọ́n fẹ́ self-determination. Wọ́n ní government làwọn fẹ́. Wọ́n ní politics làwọn fẹ́. They want the politics of Amala and Gbegiri that does not favor anybody. There's a lot of different parts of Yoruba land, Lale, that are having discussion about Tinubu, about Nigeria, about his move, economic-wise, security-wise, Niger, self-determination. And everybody's view is different. We are all stakeholders. But the West knows that their stake is now being challenged by many of us. They know what we are talking about, but they are not going to get involved at this stage. But they are also preparing for eventualities. The West can feel the wind. That the clamor of Africans, this generation is different from the Bola Tinubu generation that was on exile. I got a call just about an hour from my family on the ground, and they were discussing whether Bola Tinubu was the one that welcomed the Nadeko in UK during his exile to UK. And my question to the call was, Tinubu was running away and it was UK that gave him the soft landing, as at the time Abacha was trying to take them out. Is there a payback between Bola Tinubu government and the West, so that they can use him to rectify certain things between Especially we know the move between Russia and the West today. Tinubu has given the room that we have been waiting for. The room that we have been waiting for, Tinubu has now given it out for the total collapse of Nigeria. How much longer it will fall, I cannot say. But the wind is blowing, and it's blowing very hard. The security agency can feel it. They will not be able to curtail it when Nigerians rise up, especially in the couple of weeks. Tinubu is playing the double game. The West will not be able to convince us as they've done in the past, especially as the wind is blowing left and right. Russia is ready to give backing to anyone that is ready to go. Whether Russia is the good guy or not is not a question right now. Billions of dollars of Russian money is stuck in the West. Billions of dollars owó Russia ó ti há sínú West. And Russia is very bitter. Extremely bitter. Whether it is appropriate to use West Africa for the battleground is a different question. But the movement that is going on in the world today is quite deep. Astrologer will say there's a shift that is about to take place. How much more time is what we don't know. We all slept and woke up and heard about the coup in Niger some few weeks back. Some people knew that the coup was going to come up, but it was a tight lip. How Nigeria will collapse, some people know, but it's also in the tight lips. Even Tinubu knows Nigeria will collapse. Òun fúnra rẹ̀ mọ̀. The Yorubas, royal fathers, they can smell the wind. From the spiritual side, they know. Wọ́n dífá lé lójoojúmọ́. Wọ́n dẹ̀ mọ̀ bí tí fans tó ń direct wọn lọ. Some of you must have listened to some of the voice notes, especially after tó ṣe ọdún Ifá nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Gbogbo wa la gbọ́ odù tó jáde fáwọn tó bá ń follow from the religious of the Yoruba tradition now. I'm not talking about Christian or Muslim here now. There is a wind. Àwọn tó ń dífá wọ́n mọ tí Ifá tí odù Ifá ń sọ jáde ní gbogbo ìgbà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. And the situation tonight, kí ni Afenifere fi sọ nísìn? Are they still standing with Peter Obi in all this situation that Yoruba people are crying and they're still standing with Peter Obi in the hope of saving a country that is going down almost every second? But how long it will take? 2, 3, 4 years before it finally collapses. But before then, Nigeria could feel heat from different sides. Kó tó collapse. The British government knows the game more than me and you. They have it ready. They are preparing for it. When Nigeria on a break, I've told you that they are more concerned about the Biafra than the Yorubas. They know that the Yorubas are working tactically, while the Biafra are moving militarily to fight. They fought already for 3 years. I was in the Biafra conversation over the weekend, and let me put this out. And I was listening when somebody came up and spoke, and I was shocked to hear the list of countries that helped Nigeria during the civil war against Biafra. And some of you think the Biafrans are joking. This time around is not 1967. The British are preparing for the worst case scenario in Nigeria. Contingency, everything that they could do, but they cannot avert what is about to play out. Let's listen to this and I'll come back again.
They have a sophisticated network. During this lockdown, their planes were moving up and down as though there was no lockdown. Moving ammunitions, moving logistics, moving money, and distributing them in different parts of the country. They are already in the south, in the rainforests of the south. They are everywhere. They told us that when they finish these rural killings, they will move to phase 2. The phase 2 is they will go into the urban cities, going from house to house, killing prominent people. I can tell you, this is the game plan. By 2022, they want to start a civil war in Nigeria.
Once again, a very good evening and welcome to the live transmission. My name is Olamileka, and like I said, we are not taking calls and we are not bringing anybody in. It's just a straight conversation, and I hope to be down on this program in the next 1 hour or less. Nigerians might be concerned and they might not be concerned. That is your own cup of tea. When the situation will start, every one of us will see it physically. When we did not know about Niger, but at some point, the Niger conversation is now discussion around the world. That is how the discussion of Nigeria will pick up at the appropriate time. Let's go through this together. Like I said, this was what I listened to from one of the Biafrans. List of countries that helped Nigeria in the civil war against Biafra and how they helped there. When you hear that the boasting of Nigeria and Biafra war, ask them who fought the war. Russia provided 2 fighter jets and 3 armor tanks. Burma provided 2,000 veteran soldiers and guns. Slovakia provided 2 129 Devlin fighter jets. Poland provided 1 Karakol warship. USSR provided 15 MiG bombers. Norwegians provided 2,000 cases of ammunition. German provided 1 Navy ship containing 300 tons of 60 mm and 19 mm ammo, 10 6mm reconless rifles, and 2 highly explosive anti-tank warheads. They brought the 8 Mark II bombers at $105,000 each, and the 15 Saba MK jet at $1 million. Just as we are seeing America providing all the logistics that have run into billions of dollars to Ukraine today and other countries. Ghana provided a navy boat, Sakumo Lagoon, containing 1,000 bullet cases. The United Kingdom provided 1 cargo plane containing 1,000 automatic fabricational rifles. Niger, that Bola Tinubu wants to attack now, and Chad provided over 9,000 foot soldiers, also known as sweepers. Egypt, the Egyptians provided pilots. The Egyptians pilots were the ones provided. Once again, the situation is different from 1967. The situation this time around will be different. The United Nations are not going to respond to anything right now, because as far as they're concerned, nobody's fighting yet. The United Nations are there to settle the fight. Last week, I will find that video again. Mo mention a lórí program, but I ti ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí. There's now challenge during the Security Council about the right of the Palestine to self-determination. When the heat gets into the kitchen, United Nations will start asking how many of us are fighting and what is the reason that we are fighting. But right now, nobody's fighting, and that means there's no problem in Nigeria. Should Tinubu goes ahead, which I am praying he needs to go ahead and attack Niger, the Hausa will fight back. And we see whether our governors will defend us against that fight. But the law of self-determination, don't expect the United Nations to come down anytime soon until the changes would occur on the ground. United Nations are not there to come and ask you questions. They are there to solve crises. United Nations are crisis solver. Àwọn máa ń solve crisis ni láyé wọn. But the highest budget given to United Nations is from America. So don't expect anything from America to the dissolution of Nigeria anytime soon. America ò ní fún yín ní backup tẹ́ ń fẹ́, but if we force the situation back on the round table, America will not have any option, because Russia is going to veto whatever America wants to put on the ground, because there's now crisis between them. So Russia is waiting whether some of you will take advantage in Africa or not, so that there will be the big brother to checkmate America. I don't know who is stronger than the two, but I know that Russia has more nuclear aid than America. I may be wrong. And both of them are still avoiding to hit each other on the head. But on the United Nations Tehran table that I've been monitoring in the last couple of months after the Ukraine war, I've seen a lot of tussle between them on that round table. And this is an opportunity for those that want to be free. Not literally alone in Nigeria now. I'm not talking about Nigeria. I'm talking about anywhere in the world. Russia will back it up at the Security Council, because they have the same say as UK, Germany, Canada, as one of the 5 security members that will make decisions that can override whatever America wants to do. So the situation is getting interesting. So any excuse, kò sí excuse money say. But like we say, we are following orders from our leader, Professor Adebanjo Akintoye, and we will not go one step ahead of him. But Professor cannot stop the Biafra if they make 3 times step before us. One thing is about to lead to something within more months, years, to the wind that would eventually bring down Nigeria. Russia and the West, even up to the YouTube, you cannot listen to the RT, only if you're bypassing it. That is how they are dealing with each other. And every one of them is using their media to fight back, depending on who you're listening to. If you listen to Sky News, you will see their narratives that it seems that Ukraine is doing very well, especially with the new drone attack on the Black Sea. Maybe you don't know. There's now a small boat down on Ukraine in low, láti fi attack a bigger ship, and they cannot be detected. There's a lot going on as we speak tonight. But like I said, I hope Bola Tinubu has done all his calculation, or is he part of them? Is he also an agent for the West? Or not? Because we heard, and it's out in the public domain, that MK Abiola was working as an agent. Could Bola Tinubu that worked with him could be part of that agent as well? I don't know. I don't have proof to that. But like I said, in the public domain, this information filters all the time. That MKO was an agent. Could Bola Tinubu be an agent as well? Could he be an obstacle to Russia? I don't know. But tonight, I will put it on record again. Afenifere must come out and tell our woman Yoruba, Nibo Gongon ni wọ́n fi sí. That's all I want to know. Sitting back behind the fence is not good for them. Afenifere gbọ́dọ̀ jáde and tell us níbi tó fi sí. Like I said, I want us all to go back into our memories in the last 3 years and start asking questions that we might probably not ever get answer. Was all these coincident, or was this all planned? Is it game? Are they playing game with Nigerians? She won't play game pẹ̀lú gbogbo wa. Why some people around the world are living a better life? Why some are being restricted from living that same better life? Is it a game? Or is it just a coincidence that is how everybody was created? It is today. We don't even know where the wind is going to blow tomorrow. The wind could blow closer to us. If anybody told us in 2019 that Niger will experience what is experiencing today, that we are now told that 53% Hausa are the one living there, and a Yoruba president, Because the Yoruba president, Fulani president was Buhari, dead or alive, the sadist. Jonathan was the middle belt president. Obasanjo was never near and there. Is a Yoruba president going to take this bold decision, or are they going to put a full stop to it and say no? But what I've been hearing is they've postponed meetings of the ECOWAS is coming up in the next few days. There's a lot of pressure on the ground. So many people are saying different things. I am just saying mine as well. But like I said, in a meeting held 2 years ago, the West are concerned of different warlords. This generation has literally pushed the test limit. If the West citizen, even up to dressing without anything, do you know that in some countries people dress, they don't put on anything? Do you know that there is an LGBT right around the world? Probably not in Africa. Why then is our own right will not be respected? If their right is respected under that law of the LGBT, do you think that everybody will just be sleeping? Especially those of us that live in the West and we see all these things in our face and we say nothing. But on the other side of the globe, people are saying that we shouldn't talk about the freedom of our people. Tinubu knows quite well that the Yoruba freedom is now and must happen very soon. He will not be able to stop it if he cannot add to it. The Yoruba nation campaign will continue. Our quest will not be put down. Interfere la dúró lé lórí. We don't have any issue with his government. And we hope he doesn't have any issue with us as well. But Tinubu will have issue with the Biafra. I can see the wind. It's getting closer. He will have issue with them. He will take it personal, just like Buhari has done with Biafra. Elokosile. I hope and I pray that I'm wrong. Buhari took it too personal. Tinubu is going to take it personal as well, because the West are going to tell him to do so. The West are going to tell him to do so. So we must prepare our mind that there is a lot to Tinubu to Titowebo. And we pray, if you Titowebo, like I said, Kolon Oba Eledumare kò fún ṣe. That's all I can say. Òun ló sọ pé òun fẹ́ ṣe. There's nothing we can say. But the situation today is different from the situation yesterday. The situation tomorrow will be different from tomorrow. Every day, the situation on the ground will be different. The ethnic card will play among us within the north, the southeast, and the southwest. The Yorubas that are keeping quiet and sitting behind the fence, I hope we will go and follow Dunlo. Whether you agree with the views of the dissolution of Nigeria or not, next week from what they're saying, if the election tribunal pops up, it might be a different ball game, and it might be not. But everybody knows that the breakup that we are waiting for, we can smell it now. Tinubu has made the job much more faster for everybody. But we pray for him that he has a good health to see the fall of Nigeria. The fall of Nigeria is around us, but we don't know how many more years before it finally comes down. So Tinubu, I say thank you so much for pushing yourself and giving the room that is going to bring the dissolution of Nigeria. Prayer cannot solve what is about to stop. Prayer to keep Nigeria together is too late now. There is no Holy Spirit that will keep us together. There is no Babalawo that will put anything together and keep us together. There is no amount of prayer you go to Saudi Arabia and pray. You cannot keep Nigerians together. The hatred, the love is gone. It's just waiting to explode. And everybody can feel it. The rich, the poor, the middle class. Tinubu's strategy must not be delayed. If he has the good mind to dissolve the country so that there will be minimum casualties and minimum problems. The longer it drags it, the more there will be more blood on his hand. But he can stop it quicker than we thought. But if he says he's not going to do so, then we must all go and prepare our mind. The Biafrans are set and they're ready to go. And when they put the trigger to go, United Nations will tell Bola Tinubu that it is now two people fighting. It's either it facilitates how the Biafrans will live peacefully, or it goes the other way around. Don't think about the Nigerian military as a might. It is a divided military as we speak tonight. It is not that unity that we all have from 60s. That unity is the same thing that we don't see among us anymore today. And we can't blame each other for that. We can only blame the empire that brought us together for their own selfish gain. But they are still playing the mind game among every one of us. But like I said, Bola Tinubu will facilitate the breakup of Nigeria quicker than we thought. It might happen 3-4 years, 2 years, 6 months, I don't know. But the wind is blowing and everybody can smell it. They will try to destabilize the government that he has. They will sabotage it. He doesn't have the strength to see it all. He doesn't have it. Kò ní power yẹn, kò ní strength yẹn. He doesn't have it. That's all I've come to share with us tonight. I leave you in the hands of Eledumare. The Yoruba people must remain strong in mind. Bola Tinubu must now lift the embargo on IGBOHO so that peace will reign internally as we prepare for the worst case scenario. He must allow IGBOHO to move. Not that IGBOHO cannot move if he doesn't want to, if he wants to. But we are telling him not to. IGBOHO can move out of Benin if he wants to. But we hope that Tinubu will do the needful without wasting too much time. Because if things goes the other way around, he will blame himself. He will blame himself. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá mọ̀ Tinubu, ẹ sọ fún kó release embargo tó wà lórí olóyè Sunday Igboho. We are not begging. We don't beg because Igboho has not committed any crime. Olóyè Dr. Sunday Adeyemo has not committed any crime. Just like Nnamdi Kanu has not committed any crime. So these two individuals are not Emefiele. These are not Emefiele. Olóyè Igboho and Nnamdi Kanu are not Emefiele. Or the former disposed EFCC chairman, Barua. These are freedom fighters that the international law knows what that means. They haven't killed anyone. They haven't taken arms against the federal government. Regardless of whatever you want to say, the government does not have any evidence to be holding the two of them as if they are one terrorist and thinking that Nigeria will be peaceful. We hope Nigeria will be peaceful. For how long Nigeria will be peaceful while these two individuals are being held behind closed doors? I don't know. But everybody knows that these two individuals means a lot to millions of their followers from the southwest to the southeast. And as we continue to pray, two of them have lost parents because of the federal government of Nigeria, whether be it Buhari or Tinubu. Their parents died because of the federal government of Nigeria, which was not worth it. They should have still been alive. Both Nnamdi Kanu's parents and Igboho's mother should be alive. Igboho's mother left so that he can deliver the message into the spiritual realm. Nnamdi Kanu's parent left so that they can take the message to the spiritual realm. This is no longer a physical fight. We are dealing with a spiritual fight of those that think they own us by trying to keep us together. The West does not have the right to keep us together. We determine who we want to be and decide where we want to be. If we want to live in the West, that will be our own prerogative to decide to live in the West. But you cannot force us all to live in the West and then hold us to bondage on the other side. Ìkànnì méjèèjì lè máa mú. Ẹ̀yin àgbàlagbà náà lẹ́mí. Ọmọ tó ní ìyá òun ní sùn, òun náà ní fojú kan. The United Nations, like I said, are just crisis solver. That's what they're there for. To solve crises around the world. Food hunger, war, fight, crisis. But there's no crisis in Nigeria as we speak right now. But the crisis, I pray, doesn't erupt before we can internally solve all these problems without one person killing each other. But if anybody is out there thinking that maybe I am speaking nonsense, there will be no peace in Nigeria. The peace you are looking for, you will not find it until everyone comes back on the round table and decide whether we want to be known under this fraudulent amalgamation. Because this amalgamation has destroyed lives. And as I speak to you today, many lives are still being destroyed. Many lives are being destroyed. Nítorí pé 71 of our politicians in the Southwest representing us in Abuja think they are ghosts. Gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n represent wa l'Abuja pọ̀ pé 100. And you think that you can hold us to bondage for your own selfish interest. Even if you live permanently in Abuja, we might lock you down there and you will not come back to the Southwest. But we are taking it step by step, thinking that Egbono, 18 senators is representing Yoruba land in Abuja. 55 House of Reps is representing Yoruba people in Abuja, and they are making decision that is holding us back in support of the West. It's just a matter of time that the Nigerians, Yorubas, will wake up, and all these will come to a full stop peacefully. Peacefully. That is how far I can go. Thank you so much, everyone. My name is OLAMILEKAN. And on that note, we'll be back again tomorrow for record purpose. Today is the 7th of August, Monday, 2023. Like I said, the peace we are all looking for, we might not find it if we do not find a common ground to solve all the internal crises before it engulfs. Good night.